My name is Lawrence Benito, and I'm the Executive Director of the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. Today I'm joined by leaders in the immigrant community to call on the Illinois General Assembly to maintain our current tax rate, to maintain core services for immigrant communities. And today we're joined by a number of people from organizations working with immigrant communities to talk about the impact of the budget if the current tax rate is not maintained. Immigrants make up nearly 14% of the state population, though in terms of funding are underrepresented in the state's budget. And so cuts to the immigrant community have a disproportionate impact on the community as a whole. So today we're here together to call on the General Assembly as they're discussing the state budget to maintain the current tax rate, and we're asking them to maintain core services for immigrant communities. I'm now going to introduce Maria Pesquera, the Executive Director of Mujeres Latinas en Acción, and our host for today's press conference. Maria.
Thank you, Lawrence. Muchísimas gracias, Lawrence. Bienvenidos aquí a Mujeres Latinas en Acción. Welcome to Mujeres Latinas en Acción. I am the Executive Director of Mujeres Latinas en Acción. Soy la directora ejecutiva de Mujeres Latinas en Acción. Y el por qué estamos aquí. Why are we here? Well, we are here because of the looming cuts that could be presented before us. These budget cuts would go in effect if the not recommended budget by the governor is addressed. If we do so based on the income tax not going forward, we would be, along with many organizations across the state, find ourselves with limited services and limited programs, as well as other vital services that not only our organization provides, but vital programs and services that our families need. When we think of a family or an individual, it's not about one particular issue only. We have families that need childcare, we have families that need food, we need families that need housing, we need families that need substance abuse, and they might be all in one. And if you lose one, the other becomes that much more chipped. So we, as an organization, understand not only what it would mean to us as an organization, but the families that we serve would be it would be devastating for our entire communities. So with that, I would like to introduce Eva Arcentales to provide her testimony. Eva is with the Instituto del Progreso Latino. Eva? Oh, no. María.
María Concepción Pérez.
Sí, María Concepción Pérez, del Instituto del Progreso Latino.
Hola, buenos días.
Pásale. Buenos días, María.
Buenos días, mi nombre es María Concepción Pérez y estoy aquí porque estoy preocupada por los recortes que se han anunciado y no me gustaría que pasara eso porque hay muchas mujeres y hombres que vienen tras de mí buscando el sueño americano, que es la ciudadanía, y que desgraciadamente pasamos por un bajo recurso como el que yo pasé y necesitamos estos fondos inmensamente así. Por favor, les pedimos que no haya recortes porque hay muchas personas que vienen tras de mí por el sueño americano, que es la ciudadanía, y de ahí dependen muchas de nuestras familias que no sean deportadas, como en mi caso. Fue un sueño y un esfuerzo tremendo hacerme ciudadana para que no vaya a haber deportación con mi esposo. Ya con el cambio de mi ciudadanía, cambia inmensamente esta aplicación. Así que les pido por favor que no haya recortes de estos fondos, que es la única esperanza que tenemos para las personas que no tenemos empleo en este momento. Gracias.
No, gracias, María Concepción. I will quickly try to interpret some of the words of María Concepción. María Concepción spoke about the importance of not making the cuts, any cuts specifically related to the citizenship program. The citizenship program is a program that allows many immigrants, many individuals that come to this country, to come to this state with the American dream, and this and also helps prevent deportations There are individuals who, legal residents in this country, who have the opportunity to become naturalized citizens, and have family members who have a different status. So the naturalization programs, the citizenship programs, became very important to many families, but it also gave the opportunities economically to families to continue to contribute forward and live out the American dream. Muchísimas gracias, María Concepción. Next, I'd like to introduce Nariman Taha. Nariman is with the Arab American Family Services. Nariman.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everyone. My name is Nariman Taha, co-founder, director of Arab American Family Services. And today we stand before you as we represent the Arab American community. I come from Arab American Family Services, and my community today, our families, our elders, our children are calling for your help, our state legislators. Today we stand before you, all communities, collectively asking for your support to keep our families healthy, stable, and safe. We ask that you will support and make the 5% income tax permanent. Who we are as an organization, Arab American Family Services is a nonprofit social service organization founded in 2001. It provides caring, compassionate assistance to Chicagoland residents with special sensitivity to the cultural and linguistic needs of Arab Americans. Arab American Family Services offers various support in areas of public benefits, immigration, domestic violence, mental health, elderly services, and sponsors outreach programs to build healthier families and communities. As we take a leading role in building bridges of respect and understanding between Arab American and mainstream American cultures, we not only assist Arab Americans, but we assist others as well who need the help. In 2013, Arab American Family Services provided support to 7,724 families, a total of 32,303 people, individuals. 30% of are non-Arab, non-Muslims, making a profound and positive impact in our community. But as we stand here today, and as we anticipate the weeks to come, waiting anxiously to hear if our social service programs will be impacted, causes great instability and insecurity, not only for Arab American Family Services, but for all our communities and the community members we serve. AFS can only imagine our families, Arab Americans and others who will be left alone, turned away, and once again become invisible and underrepresented if funding and programs are cut. For 14 years, we have built an organization to become a lead agency, a place where people, immigrants specifically, can call home away from home. They come to us hoping that we will provide them with the resources and services. They give us their trust. By cutting these programs, we can't, as an organization, and all our communities, can't make that happen. We can't continue to add to our struggles and challenges. People are in dire need of services and programs. Shutting our doors, cutting programs, and turning people away will result in greater disaster. We are once again putting the immigrant communities and all our families and individuals in jeopardy. Like all organizations, Arab American Family Services will be forced to reduce or possibly cut programs if funding is not available. No programs means less staff, or no staff means serving less people and possibly not serving at all. The impact is beyond words. If we don't support the 5% income tax and make it permanent and help sustain our programs, as I said, we will be forced to reduce, if not eliminate, some of its programs due to lack of funding, which leads to reducing staff. Our bilingual and bicultural professional staff would no longer be able to assist local DHS offices and caseworkers to alleviate their stress when working with immigrant Arab families. We will have stolen freedom and security from Arab American women and children of domestic violence, victims of domestic violence. And we shall, if we don't support, we will put them back in the hands of the abusers. Arab American Family Services will be forced to wait longer periods for their medical card and SNAP benefits, leaving many with no food or health care coverage for a long time. Beyond the current wait period of 3 to 4 months, which is typically that's a period now. You will deprive our parents of the opportunity to engage with their local schools and teachers through our Parent Mentor program. This program has been a success in engaging immigrant parents, increase in volunteerism, and as a result, children of these parents have been academically succeeding. In the past 3 years, we have assisted over 2,000 Arab immigrants to become naturalized citizens through the New American Initiative program, giving the opportunity for immigrant families and individuals to become part of the larger fabric of society, bringing home to them every American's dream to live a healthier and more successful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Nariman. Next we have Dennis Mondero from the Chinese Mutual Aid Association.
Thank you, Maria. I want to first acknowledge and thank Lawrence Benito, the head of ICER, for his leadership on this issue. Also, thanks to Maria Pesquera for hosting this event and also for her leadership. My name is Dennis Mondero. I am the Executive Director of Chinese Mutual Aid Association. We are a nonprofit direct social service agency. Our main office is in the Uptown neighborhood of Chicago. We provide direct social services for youth, for working adults, and for seniors in Chicago and in some of our suburbs. We represent a pan-immigrant community. On any given week, we will have a dozen Russian immigrants learning English in a classroom. We will be helping a new Burmese family assimilate to the United States. We will be teaching English to Chinese, Vietnamese adults. We are proud also of our efforts to try and help immigrants become citizens, to become registered to vote. We know and acknowledge that our agency has our bulk of our budget coming from state funds, and so talking to many of my peers at other nonprofits, to me the possibility of this state income tax sunsetting to a lower rate, to me, is doomsday for nonprofits. It is doomsday for the working poor, for the immigrant community, and I don't think that there is enough coverage in the mainstream community talking about this issue. It is that important of an issue that I hope that everyone really focuses on day to day and determine, hey, when we're looking at all the competing interests that the Springfield legislators have to look at, how important is it to help the working poor and enable themselves to advance and have an opportunity to achieve the American dream. Thank you very much for letting me speak, and I'll hand it back to Maria.
Thank you, Dennis. So we stand here as a diverse immigrant community, Latinos, Asians, Muslims, in support of the governor's budget and in support of maintaining our current tax rate. We are organizing our member organizations for a lobby day tomorrow in Springfield. We hope to have over 600 people in the Capitol, and we are asking our members, those to join us and those who can't, to contact their legislators to maintain the current tax rate, to maintain core services for immigrant communities. And we're asking legislators to do the same. This concludes our formal presentation, and we open it up for questions.
Are there any specific programs across all these organizations that would be threatened?
So currently, ICER administers a couple programs from Department of Human Services. There's the Immigrant Integration Services line that funds the New Americans Initiative, the citizenship program that was talked about here. Also, the Immigrant Family Resource Program that helps people manage the safety net. There's also SNAP and WIC programs inside of that Immigrant Services line. And we also administer the Parent Mentor Program through the Illinois State Board of Education budget.
Specifically.
Yep.
So, as I mentioned, immigrant communities, we're not in a bubble, right? We're like every other individual. But when you look specifically at what would happen with the income tax sunsetting and going with the non-recommended budget, if that were the case, domestic violence survivors would not get the counseling and needed support that they would have. Sexual assault survivors would not get the medical advocacy that they would need. Child care services would be cut. Basic basic human needs such as SNAP applications. So we're talking about services that are not just that are basic human needs and related to housing, but also services that allow working families to go to work. Could you imagine if you don't have childcare? What are you gonna do? You can't go to work. So there are various pieces of that would go into place that would not only impact individuals and families, economically would devastate our state.
So do these programs, with them being cut, does that outweigh the benefit that people would see because, you know, their paychecks would be bigger because the income tax they would get less taken out in income tax? Would you say that doesn't make up for the loss in those programs?
Do you want
Yeah.
to answer that?
Absolutely.
Can you step closer to
I'm sorry.
the mics?
Absolutely, it would not. It would not make the income tax dollars taking out of someone's the amount that we're speaking of right now, which is what is currently in place. It would be the current amount. Losing that would not in any way come to anywhere close to the negative impact financially to families and communities of these services that people depend on. Again, childcare, domestic violence services, mental health and substance abuse. You could go on and on of the services that would be cut that would mean a major devastation to families, communities, and our state.
Questions? We also have people available for individual interviews. All right. Thank you very much.